Hi guys, welcome back to the series in solo dungeon running. So this one I'm at, as I said earlier, I'm going to go to Champion's Demise. What I'm going to do in this video, I've got a Nightmare Sigil as well. So I'm going to run through it solo. First of all, see what experience I get, how long it takes, and then I'm going to put the Nightmare Sigil on, run through it again, and sort of compare the two. I think my Sigil is level 29. It's one of these anyway. Yeah, level 29, so I think that might be below what I should be doing, but I've just got loads of them. So we'll compare it to what level you get at level 29, the experience you get, and you know, the speed of doing it. So I'm at 3.149 now, and I'll run it now. I'll pull you back at the end once it's complete. We'll go through how long it took, what experience I got, and then I'll run through it again on a Nightmare, compare the two, and see if it's worth doing it without Nightmare Sigils or not, and then make your own decision. So I'm going to run through it now and I'll bring it back at the end. So that's that dungeon complete, the Champion's Demise on sort of normal without a sigil. I had 2 events in there, so that obviously takes an extra couple of minutes. So that took 13 minutes to complete, and got about just over 1 million, 1 million and sort of 50,000. So it's, you know, it's good dungeon on that sense, but you know, it took a little bit longer because of the event. So you might have been just below 1 million experience if you didn't get the events, and maybe a couple of minutes quicker. So you might be looking at around 11 minutes. There's a lot of running around in this one, and there's a lot of like shamans that you have to try and kill first, otherwise they sort of stop you killing anything. And you seem to there's huge groups, but you seem to be chasing like the odd one, that because I was trying to make sure I killed everything, and you seem to be chasing the odd one, which it might be worth just sort of leaving in the future, and just, you know, if there's just one throwing a spirit from distance, just leave it and carry on. So what I'll do now is I'll do it now in Nightmare and see the sort of difference. Obviously, like I said, this is a level 29 sigil I've got, so I'll see how much the difference is in experience and how hard and time it takes to kill them. Right, I'm gonna leave this and I'll bring you back once I start the Nightmare one. Hi guys, I'm back to Champion's Demise. I've got a Nightmare Sigil on now, only a tier 29 one, which is pretty much the same level as me, level 83 as a dirt. So I'm gonna run through and see the sort of experience and how long it takes on a Nightmare, and see if how different it is when you're using a Sigil or not. So I'm at 4.373 now, and the time I start, I'll do it at 12:03, so I know it's a new time, and I'll see how long it takes, and I'll come back at the end and we'll be able to compare the two. Alright, let's go. Alright guys, I've just completed that Nightmare Sigil dungeon, Champion's Demise, as we were talking about, and yeah, so that took exactly the same amount of time, 13 minutes to complete. And the difference is you got nearly 2.2 million experience from that run, whereas before you're getting about it's nearly double. So when I didn't do it in the Nightmare Sigil, I got just under 1.1 million experience from 13-minute run. In a Nightmare Sigil, I got 2.2 million in the same amount of time. So if you've got Nightmare Sigils, you should be using them all the time. Plus the amount of drops I've got, you know, I'm filling up my bags here because I'm trying to save some gold and I'm just selling everything. But you get so many more drops, and yeah, it really is not worth doing the normal dungeons if you're not a Nightmare. So I pretty much think that'd be the end of the little series I was doing on dungeons. So what I'll do is I'll do it in Nightmare. But the one thing I've noticed is like it's not worth just doing it without Nightmare. So if you've got Nightmare, make sure you use them sigils and collect all of them, and do them. Like, even if they're roughly the same level as you, or even a little bit below, you're probably still going to get a lot more experience. I know that, you know, everyone probably knows that, but I just wanted to see the vast difference. And yeah, nearly double the experience. If not, it is over double the experience you get for the same amount of time. So if you're not using Nightmare sigils, you're going to be wasting a lot of your time. So make sure that even as solo that you are using these. But yeah, I'll carry on trying different dungeons, but what I'm going to do now is use the Nightmare Sigils and see if there's any difference, because I don't want to waste my own time by not using them when there is that much of a much of a difference between the two. So I hope this has helped someone. If anyone's seeing if they're worth it, because I've not really used Nightmare Sigils much, if I'm honest. I probably should have been, but I haven't really used them. I've just been running in and out of dungeons. But yeah, it's something worth thinking about if time is money, and you get double on the Nightmare. So use them. Cheers for watching.